is Jax. Miss Jax, you can call me. Thanks. Okay, well, I always knew from day one that I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be an entertainer. And I wanted to perform. Before I even knew how powerful singing was and how powerful this stage was, I knew that it made me feel happy in my heart to make other people happy when I entertain them. The same way you get that feeling on Christmas when you give a gift instead of getting a gift. That's what singing for people made me feel like. So I always knew. So I was like, Mom, Dad, I want to be on stage. I can remember I went to a Britney Spears concert when I was really young. I was like your height, and I would face, turn around. I would face that way, and I would pretend like everybody was there for me. I still believe everybody was there for me to this day. Awesome. 20,000 people here today. So I begged my parents. I was like, I want to be on stage. I want to be in theater. And they were like, all right, Jack. So I mastered the jazz hands. I had everything down. I was Little Orphan Annie. I was part of every single... Oh my gosh, I was part of every... I was a theater geek. We had any theater geeks in the town? It was the home of theater. This is awesome. I loved it, and my parents were always supportive of what I did. So I had my whole life mapped out for me at like 4 years old. I was going to go to the city, and I was going to be on Broadway, and I had big, big dreams. My parents were down. But for those of you who watched the show, there was a little bit of a plot twist in my family's story, as I'm sure there was a plot twist in a lot of people's stories here, because my dad was a first responder in a 9/11 terrorist attack. Shout out to all the fallen brothers and for everybody. It was really scary for my family and for many families here because for those of you who don't know my daddy the way I know him, he's not just a hero professionally, he's a hero all the time. He was always so talented. The same way I was put on this earth to sing and be on stage, and that's his job. And he loved his job. He loved his brothers. So it was terrifying. It was like the carpet was ripped out from underneath us. But little did we know. From that day into the next 30 days, he was part of. It was a rescue mission, which sadly and eventually it turned into a recovery mission. And during that period of time, he was injured on the job, and his lungs were really, really hurt, and he was forced into retirement and forced to be home. And it was really, really scary and really sad because that was his whole life, and that was my family's life. That's all we knew. But it ended up being a blessing in disguise, I think, because I was still a little psycho. And I still wanted to be on stage, and I still had the jazz hands down. And I was like, Dad, you don't have to jump into burning buildings to save lives. We could do it together, and we could help people, and we could save lives through music. Yeah. Which is awesome. And so we did. I had a really demanding schedule. He drove me to the studio. He's over there. Hi, Dad. Homeschooled. He took care of me at home. I was like, this is my #1 dream. We're going to climb to the top together. So he was my partner in crime. He was my dadager. He's my second half. And we were in it together to change the world through music. And just when you think we couldn't take more of a road less traveled, my family over here, my 6-foot-tall little brother, my New York City school teacher, Molly, she teaches in Brooklyn. My dad, we decided to audition for American Idol. And we had no idea that day that we would walk out with that golden ticket. And we certainly had no idea that we would be standing in front of you guys on the American Idol Top 5 tour in New York City. This is awesome. I'm going to need everybody. Does everybody have a phone in this audience? I'm pretty sure we do. I need everybody to take their phone out. Put your glow sticks up. I need every phone in the air. It's about to light up in here. All right. This one is for all of the brothers and the families that were affected